Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and I am about to get kind of sappy and sentimental. If I have done what I intended on doing, this video should be uploaded October 13th, 2019, and that is exactly a year to the day after I posted my first ever Booktube video last year on October 13th, 2018. Now, I'd had a channel before then. I'd been a lyric video channel for show tunes, and decided not too long after discovering that Booktube was a thing that I wanted to do it. So as a result, I kind of jumped in with both feet and didn't really know a lot of the kinds of videos that were trending or like what a Booktube channel was quote unquote supposed to look like. And it's been a journey over this last year. And I just wanted to sit down and talk for a bit about everything that I've gained, everything that I've learned, everything that Booktube has given me. Starting off with, I have way more respect for my library. Not that I disrespected libraries beforehand, but growing up, I came from not a particularly impoverished family, but not one that was all that well off. I was one of four and the child of a pastor and a teacher, so it's not like we were rolling in the dough. And as a result, my reading was very sporadic. It was whatever was available at the library or at the thrift store or wherever I could get them for cheap and or free. And there wasn't a lot of purposefulness to it. And that kind of carried over, even when I came to a point in life where I had the money to go out and buy books regularly. It didn't really change all that much. I wasn't used to making a point of, I am going to read this author's entire collection, or I'm going to make a point of reading this book because this is the book that so-and-so was talking about. I didn't do that. If I stumbled across a hyped book on the library shelf and I thought it looked cool, I'd pick it up, but I probably didn't even know it was hyped. So lately, with my Booktube channel, I have been using my library a lot, not just to wander through and pick up whatever's there, but to make a very pointed effort to pick up specific things, mostly for readathons, mostly group books for readathons because, you know, those are never indie books. There's usually the $25 at Barnes & Noble ones, so I almost always request them from my library, and props to my library, they always have them. And I have also managed to get some indie books in my library. Well, one, singular. As of right now, I'm working on getting more in there. It's a work in progress. But I have a lot more respect for the full extent of library services now that I didn't have before. I also have my library's ebook service, which that's a fun thing. If you didn't know that, check out, see if your library has like some connection to an ebook service, because that is a lot of fun. And speaking of purposefulness, in general, I have become much more purposeful in my reading during Booktube as opposed to before. And that's mostly because of the videos I want to make or the readathons I'm doing. You know, when I wanted to make a video on books about that represented autism for Autism Awareness Month, I had to purposely seek them out and read them. Or when I wanted to do things like the books that were published or popular the year I was born or the month I was born, I had to go purposely research and find those books. And now I have more general goals in reading. I want to find more books with polyamory, with Afrofuturism is the one kick I've really been on. Books that are translated from a language that is not English. I flatter myself that my goals are fairly diverse. I also want to read more from specific authors to kind of get a view of an entire author's collection. I don't think I'll ever be that person that's like, I am going to read every book Stephen King has ever published, because that dude puts out like 10 books a year. But I, in general, want to make specific choices of, I'm going to read this type of book or this book specifically for this specific reason. And I'm not going to lie, part of me kind of misses the fun, oh, this looks cool kind of aspect. So I might have to find a way to incorporate both of them where I get like a break book once in a while where I could be like, just for fun, pick up this one. But in general, I've become much more purposeful in what I read. I've also researched more into what I read. Again, growing up, when we did have a computer, it was a one family desktop and you got exactly an hour on it a day. And you had 3 other siblings that were going to make gosh darn sure you only got that hour. So I wasn't going to spend my time researching authors when I could be feeding my Neopets. So I've also gotten more into looking into the reasons why someone or an author would write this way, or what their vibe is, or their history is, or what led them to writing this book specifically. And that's been so much fun. I've listened to a lot more podcasts and podcast interviews and watched a lot more AuthorTube. Not more AuthorTube than Booktube. I'm still very much on Booktube side, but it's been so much more purposefulness in researching the people that I'm, whose work I'm reading, which I never really cared about it before. But when you're, reviewing indie books, it's kind of a thing. And the indie community is just fantastic. And I still want to do a video on it, and I keep forgetting. I might do it in December. I can't be sure. But in general, they're so welcoming, and they're probably, in the weirdest turn of events, there are people in the world that view me through the lens of being a reviewer. Like, there are people who know me as Margaret Adele, the book reviewer, which is so mind-boggling to me. That there are, people have talked about me in their author groups, as I have been told, and there are independent presses that are coming to me as a reviewer, and it's insane, and I love it. I know book reviews don't do that well on mainstream Booktube, and in general, they're not the most highest views count on my channel, but I love being a book reviewer. I love those videos, especially when it's a 5-star book I adored and I just get to gush for 15 minutes straight. It's so much fun. I love getting to tell an indie author, hey, your book was a 5-star, please send me the next in the series, send me whatever you are making next. There's no less than 3 or 4 indie authors that I actively pester on a daily basis for the next in their series. Or they'll be like, I want to write this book. And I'll be like, you're sending me a review copy, right? And having that interplay and that connection to that community, even though I'm not an indie author, is so much fun and so nice, and is such an uplifting community to even be adjacent to. I'm not quite sure what my position is in relationship to the indie author community, but wherever I am, I like it. And also, I've made, I don't know how many friends with booktubers, because it's one of those things where I don't know when to use the word friend in relationship to online relationships. There's always that fear of you're going to refer to them as a friend, and maybe they're just going to see you as a Twitter mutual, and then suddenly it's weird and you don't know what to do now, and oh crap, I'm sorry, we've talked so much. And so it's hard to say how many. I know there are people I would consider friends, but there's only been one other booktuber that we have specifically said, yes, this is a friendship, and that is Brody from A2 Brody. They are a fantastic person. I've actually gotten a couple shout outs in their videos, but I've given them a couple shout outs as well, so it's an even trade. And also they killed me in Bang, Marry, Kill, so we're even. Anyway, there are other relationships that, even if I don't feel totally comfortable calling them friendships quite yet, they're there. And I know a lot of people might be like, Margaret, you've been doing this for a year and there's only some low-key friendships. And yeah, it's a bit of an upward trek in that the Booktube community is really, really, really talented at making you feel welcome to the community in general, in a general sense. There are people who will literally just seek out Booktube newbie tags just to welcome you into the community. But long-term friendships are much slower in developing. There are possibly some other collabs that I'm thinking about doing, possibly some other people that will be coming in and out, or I'll be in their videos. So friendships are developing. And it's not actually that slow if you take into account that it takes a while for your channel to get known, and then it takes a while for you to feel comfortable doing that kind of thing, and you have to search out the people that will be your people. So I'm not upset that it's taken a year to get here, and who knows where I'll be in another year. I could be, you know, having a ton of Booktube besties and be monetized and have a deal with like 5 different indie presses and be someone's affiliate. I don't know. I don't know where we're going next. But this year has been so much fun. I have had such a fantastic time being part of this community and all the friends that have been made and all of that. It's awesome. And I just wanted to get sappy and say that. And hopefully this isn't too rambly or weird. But if you are a booktuber and you have ever done any kind of Booktubeversary video, or you have ideas for what you want to do when you get there, please leave those down in the comments below. I'm always curious because I feel like everyone wants to commemorate this anniversary in some way, but like I don't know how many people like actually know what they want to do about it. But in general, I am just having so much fun. I always look forward to putting up a video, and I think I've been rambling for long enough. So thank you so much for being here, and here's to another year. And other than that, have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow. I'll talk to you next time.